Good day. My name is Maria Diaz and I'm representing the ministry Crowns. This moment I will be answering a question from a young person who asked me how to live in community. But before I proceed with the message, I will encourage you please to click on that button that is on your right corner, click on that one and subscribe to this channel. Every time we present another message, you will be notified. And please encourage others to subscribe as well. The question was how to live in community. What is community and how to live in community? But now I'm gonna start answering that question with another question. When was the last time that you were in a wooded area between trees? I'm talking about, yes, in the forest. When was the last time? Well, if you haven't been able to do that for a long time, I will encourage you to take that venture and experience it. Yes, because you will benefit on many levels. The first thing is that we get transformed because the trees allow us to breathe better. It enhances our immune system and give us shade. Yes, especially from places that receive a lot of heat and sun, like in Texas, that the temperatures rises up to the mid-100, yes, in temperature, also in Arizona and other places. But not only that, the trees allow us to hear better, enhances our senses of our sight to become more precise. Even our olfactory senses become sharper and our taste also is impacted. You see all the benefits of trees? Let me ask you another question. Did you contribute to this tree to be here? No. I just bought it this way. And probably in the wooded areas, in the forest, in the state parks, you neither contributing to that. But let me tell you what I'm bringing the trees to answer this question about how to live in community and what is community. The trees, when they grow together in wooded areas, they help each other to continue growing. Because some set of roots, listen what happens. Some set of roots, they get charged to absorb the nutrients. Other set of roots are in charge of taking the sunlight. I never knew about it until I started digging into more how to present this topic. Also, their set of roots take charge into how to continue growing others. So they are interconnected. Don't think they grow by themselves alone. One set of roots, like I explained, are dedicated to absorb nutrients. The other is to absorb the light, and the other is to absorb the water or any other type of food. So they impact each other in that way. When I was looking into that information, I said, wow, that's exactly like us. God put each one of us for a purpose. Yes, devoted to a specific task, to a specific purposes. Because we cannot be doing all the tasks. We need plumbers, we need the mail carrier, we need the person who is at the airport controlling the traffic, we need a pilot, we need doctors, we need nurses, we need also teachers. So we are here to fulfill certain type of purposes. The same thing with the government and the private sector. In all areas, we need each other. That's exactly how God designed it, like with the trees that I just explained to you. So that concept that we can be living by ourselves or the flying solo, that's a big lie. We need each other to help each other continue thriving, okay? We need each other. So how do we live in community? Okay, the first ingredient is encouragement. Let me unpack this further. Encouragement for what? Well, we need to know when we are doing things in the right way so we can continue executing the same level or exceed it. Yes, excel more on that area. Also, we need encouragement to know the areas that we need to improve. Encouragement is important because it gives us the strength. It gives us some type of new air, new fresh air to continue the journey. Because we need encouragement and also by ourselves to talk with God and let him know how are we doing, how are we feeling. And he can cleanse our hearts and our minds too. We need community. We need to be with others in order to know, like I said, areas for improvement and areas to continue excelling. Okay? So the first ingredient is encouragement, among many others. Okay? Why is so important? Because it helps us with our souls to get healthy attitudes and keep minds healthy and sane. We need encouragement to be validated, like I said, to be checked on, okay? Like for instance, when the 9/11 happened, somebody who lived in New York told me that they were checking every day on each other. They turned into a real community of looking for each other, not being in contention. She said that the atmosphere was completely different. It was like a reboot, a reset in their lives. That's exactly what God wants for each one of us, to be in unity and doing better for each other. So the first ingredient is encouragement. Let's continue. What else? Because we cannot be living by ourselves. Remember, I just said encouragement, but also there's no thing like we can be living in a jungle. For instance, nobody can survive in a jungle by itself. As humans, we need someone to bring us the food. Not only food, but also safety, love, and many other aspects, especially during the first stages of our lives. And you will say, wow, that's corroborated with science. That's corroborated also in the human behavior field, because now they are embracing that word every time. But if we look into the ancient path, like it says on Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 16, what are the ancient paths? The Bible, the book of instructions for us before leaving earth, or for living on earth, whatever you put it. But that's the book that I'm referring to. That's already written, and we can look into the book of Ephesians. I'm going to exhort you to look into the book of Ephesians chapter 4, verses 15 and 16. It says, instead, speaking the truth in love, we need to grow, becoming, in every respect, the mature body of Him who is the head. Who is the head? Jesus Christ. Yes. From Him, the whole body joined and held together. That's us, community. Okay? By supporting ligaments, they grow and build itself in love as each part does its work. That means that you are in your field, working in your field, but you are doing that with love, because we need each other, supporting each other in love. Like I said, we cannot be by ourselves. And also you can see that in the book of Acts. Paul, the apostle, wrote in verses 1 and 2. He was in a wreck, a shipwreck. And this is what he wrote after the aftermath of what happened. He wrote the following words. When the uproar had ended, Paul sent for the disciples, and after encouraging them after the shipwreck, he said goodbye and set out for Macedonia, speaking many words of encouragement to the people, and finally, he arrived to Greece, where he stayed for 3 months. What beautiful image, no? Again, the ancient paths, it's already in the Bible, how we need to be in community and what are the ingredients. Another element to live in community is empathy. Empathy, now human behavior again, is taking that concept and is disheveling it and studying it deeper and deeper. And let me tell you what, they found different levels of empathy. And I'm going to share, because in the book of Hebrews chapter 4, verse 15, you can find that it's talking about empathy. That means that God is already placing all the ingredients that we need to be living in life is in His book. So if you look in the book of Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 15, it reads like that. talks about Jesus. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in any way, just as we are, but yet he did not sin. That last piece, he did not sin, it's kind of whoa to me, because it's so hard to try to follow God's commandments to the point of loving him like he asked us with all our hearts, our souls, minds, and strength, and to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Let me tell you, I'm driving on the road, and immediately I'm following all that, but someone cuts me. Yes, in front of me, causing kind of danger for me and the person who is on the behind, the behind vehicles. I have different options. I can burst in laughter if I have a good day, but if I have many disappointments, like many of us have, in a very bad day, probably I will be infuriated, and it will be like putting wood on my anger, my disappointment, my emotions rising up, instead of responding on the right way. And maybe not with the person because he already left or she already left, but maybe with the next person that is gonna be on my path, not saying something kind or nice, and maybe answering a question in a harsh way. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. It's hard, I know. So empathy has different levels, like I said, so we need to put a break and try to understand others. Empathy, like I said, has different degrees and levels, and humanistic perspective is classifying that. Yes, they now identify that there is cognitive empathy. Cognitive empathy is when somebody shares with me a story of what they went through or what has been happening in their lives, and I say, wow, that has been very hard for you, no? So that's cognitive empathy. Then there is emotional empathy, which is the one that we can feel with the other person. Yes, that's especially in people who are in the human behavior field, but not only them, also the nurses, doctors, the first responders, because they have the sensitivity. That's why they're on that field. And not only that, but through training, they make those skills more acute. Okay? There is a third type of empathy I'm gonna share with you. Is the empathetic concern. The empathetic concern, according with the humanistic people, the psychologists, psychiatrists, and people in this field of human behavior, said that is empathetic concern. The people who develop that is the people who have been in situations, they have experienced situations of deep pain. Yes. Or people they love, that they are very close to them, and they are able to identify when someone is going through deep and hard moments. The person doesn't have to talk, because this other person is able to detect if something really is going on and ask. Because as I said, they have been in those shoes, or someone they love have been on that experience. That's why many groups of support, yes, like AA, Clutters Anonymous, also people who are facing codependency in those groups, people who had experienced abuse and have been in groups, they know each other and they can feel, they can say without saying with words, and the other person will be able to analyze and see what's going on with this person. The third ingredient that we need to live in community is grace. Grace is a gift from God. Yes, it's a gift that God gave us through Jesus Christ. It's about the strength, but also it's about mercy. It's something that we just receive from God. It's undeserved merit, and undeserved favor from God toward us. It's an attribute that then it manifests in love, mercy, compassion, and also in concern for others. How do we see that? Through Jesus Christ. He extended his life for each one of us, so we can extend that same mercy toward others. And if you are questioning about that, Remember, in the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 13, it says, remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. Remember, we need to forgive others. And then you can say, well, I don't buy that thing of community. Well, remember, 3 ingredients. It starts with encouragement, empathy, the 3 levels that I just shared, and then grace. It's something that you just extend to others. And I share in the message about healing our land, message number 2, a few steps that you can follow if you haven't been able to forgive your neighbor. 3, less than 10 minutes is the message. And it gives you very good detail of how to pursue forgiveness toward others. So in that way, let me tell you what can happen in you and your body. Many people who have had that experience have experienced relief in their bodies from migraines, arthritis, even heart pain, heartbeat palpitations that are being fast, blood pressure has started to lower, even asthma and many other conditions after extending forgiveness and making reconciliation. For what? To connect with others and to nurture and encourage and empathize with others. What can I say to you is that this is your time. Why? Because this thing of the COVID, there is no other way that we can be living. We need to be with each other. The COVID season demonstrated that. And I'm going to close with another verse if you still have questions about this dynamic that I just presented. It says on Romans 8, chapter 8, verse 28, it says, and we know that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God, to those who have been called according to his purpose. We need thoughts of forgiveness, of love, of empathy, grace, and encouragement, because the journey is long and we need each other. I hope this gives you more clarity, energy, and help you to invest in other people's lives. But I'm going to make a pause and I'm going to ask you, have you declared Jesus the Lord of your life? If you haven't been able to do that, I think this is a great time for you to reboot your life. Reboot your life and say, okay, this has been not happening the way I expected. I've been rejected, I've been mistreated since childhood. My partner has abused me. At work, they mistreat me. People don't respect me. And many other things have happened in your life. I think this is your chance to forgive yourself of your wrongdoing and also forgive others, because that's our call, to love God and love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Just say with your mouth, just believe in your heart that Jesus died and rose from the cross for you and me, to give us another break, another opportunity to engage in community, to help each other, like the trees, that they nurture each other. And like I just said, we cannot be flying solo. That's a big lie. Just say with your mouth that you believe that Jesus died and rose from the dead, and that you want to be part of that family. Just say it with your mouth. I hope this gives you new purpose, new sense, new joy, new clarity, and a new beginning for your life and your family. So this way you can leave a beautiful print on this earth. Not for you, but also for the people behind you, your family, your extended, your neighborhood, your community. Make a difference. This is your time. Disappointments, frustrations, hurts, and physical pain happens to all of us, including myself. I can attest of that. And I can attest that as soon as we start forgiving and loving others and helping others, we feel better and we become better, okay? Better citizens. I hope this message encouraged you, and I will encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Hit that on the right corner, click that button and subscribe, and listen to the message of Healing Our Land, part number 2. Yes, because it will give you tools to embark better. I hope to see you soon, and God bless you. Until next time, keep spreading seeds of love, encouragement, empathy, and grace. God bless you.